Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido and lesson number 1 on how to knit for the very beginner. Today I'll be teaching you how to cast on, how to knit, how to purl, and how to cast off or bind off. It's just the basic of knitting. It's very easy, and once you learn how to do this, you'll be ready to knit anything. So I hope you guys like the lesson and give it a try and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And remember, it's two styles of knitting, the continental and the English style. I'm more used to do the English style, and sometimes when I do fair isle knitting or multicolor hats or clothes, I use both styles, but mainly the English style. I'm going to show you two ways of casting on. They are my two favorite way, but I use one more than the other one. So I'm going to show you first the one that I use less and then the one that I always use. First, I'm going to show you how to do a slip knot. This slip knot that I do is for crochet or knitting. So I grab my yarn, I wrap around this finger like this, and this strand I put it in the top and here. I hold it, remove the loop. This strand, that is the one crossing the top, I put it through the loop from the bottom up, pull it, and then you have your slip knot. Okay, so I will show you one more time. You wrap and your finger like this. You hold it, and you see this strand in the top is the one I will bring from under up. That loop. And like that, you have your slip knot. I'm going to start with my slip knot. And I'm going to place my needle in here. And I'm going to grab the next one and I'm going to pass under like this. You're going to grab your yarn, you're going to wrap it on top of the needle, and then you're going to pull it out, and then you see you taking out that strand as well, and then that loop you're going to place it back to this needle in the left hand. You're going to pull this a little bit, not too tight, and then now you're going to go in between these two and here. You see, straight in between. Again, you wrap in here, you pull and place back. So let's do that again. I'm going to do a slip knot, and again you're going to grab your other needle, place it like this, wrap, and bring it out, and that loop you're going to place it back into the needle. For knitting, what you need is practice. It's like crochet. If you know how to crochet, I bet that the first time that you start with your chain, you have to undo the chain a few times in order to get it right. So with knitting, it's the same. So I'm going to repeat that again one more time. You're going to do your slip knot, and you're going to place your needle inside that loop. You're going to grab your other needle, and you see, under, you're going to cross them like this. You're going to grab your yarn, you wrap it on top at the bottom needle, and you take that strand out, and you create a loop, and pass the loop back into your needle. Now you're going to go in between the stitches, not like this like I show you. You're going to go in between the two, straight like this. You're going to wrap, you're going to pull it out, and place that loop back into your needle. Now you're going to go in between these next two. Wrap, and place back. You go between these two, you're going to wrap, and you're going to place it back. So what I recommend if you like this way of casting on is go back at the beginning where I show you and practice this a few times. It's good to practice this before you start with your work. And you place it back. Like this. You see how easy? And look at the nice border you are getting here for the beginning of your piece. The same with this one. This one is the other way of casting on. And look how nice that looks. So you're going to practice. One more time. You go in between these two. You see? Straight like that. And you place it back. So now I will show you the other way of casting on. Now I'm going to show you the second way that I use for casting on. That is my favorite. I use this one almost all my videos. Let's say that the design of the piece that you're going to do asks you to cast on 60 stitches. So you have to leave a tail long enough for those 60 stitches. So what you do is you grab one needle and you wrap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 times. So you pull it out of your needle. So you have enough for 15. You fold it in half here. So you have enough for 30 in here. So you let go and you fold it one more time. And then you have enough here for 60 stitches. And I always like to leave a little bit extra. So you'll have enough tail to cast on those 60 stitches this way. For my little piece, I'm gonna do with 20 stitches. So I'm gonna wrap here 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Plus a little extra. So, and here I'm gonna do my slip knot, exactly the same as I showed you in the beginning. And now we're gonna start our casting on. So this is the yarn attached to the ball, and this one is the little tail that will tie a little knot underneath the stitch to secure your casting on. You're gonna grab your needle, you pass it through that loop, and you're gonna use these two fingers to cast on. So you hold your yarn with these two, and then these two you put inside here, see, and you open like this. Now when you do this, when you bring the yarn down here to the palm of your hand, you see this one, this strand cross on top of this one. So that there is where you're gonna introduce your needle. You wrap in here, that one, and you take it out through that loop, and you let go, and with the thumb you come to that strand of yarn and tie that one up. So I'll show you one more time. You see? You grab in here, and then these two, and here, you see? And then when you come in here, you pass through here, wrap around that one in here, pass it through that loop, move your thumb, and then tie that stitch again. You see, this is my favorite way of casting on, because once you learn how to do it, you cast on very fast. You come here, you see, again, when you bring this here, I always hold these ones, that way they don't fall out of my needle. You come here, you pass it through here, you wrap in this one, you see, let me get it out, again, through here, and here, and let go, like that, again. You see, automatically my thumb will go inside the loop, you'll see. You see? And pull. I will show you one more time, a little bit closer. I already have my loop here, my slip knot. So that will always count as the first stitch So you will grab your yarn in here to give a nice tension to the casting on, and then you grab the thumb and this other finger and you pass in between these two strands, and then you open and try to bring them at the same distance like this, you see. And then when you come this way, almost look like a I think in English it's a sling, those things that the kids use for playing like that. So it's almost like that position, you see. So you come here, and this strand in here will cross on top of this one and create a loop in your thumb. So you'll pass the tip of the needle in here, you go and wrap this one, you see. I'll show you one more time. And here, you wrap in that one, and you take it out like that, and then you move your thumb, and then you come here, and with your thumb you tie that stitch. Okay, so again you come like this, and here wrap that one, take it out with your thumb, and then tie that stitch. So this is my favorite casting on because I am really fast casting on with this. I will show you just quick. You see how my thumb automatically go under this strand. Look. When I remove my thumb, you see, I'm already tying that stitch. So that's what you need to do with the casting on, is practice, practice, practice. Just make a cup of tea or a coffee and sit down and just practice the casting on first. You remove it out of the needle, and again and again and again before you start with the knit. Okay, so I will cast on 20 stitches in here, and I will show you how to start knitting. Once you finish casting on the amount of stitches that you need for your project, what you're gonna do is with the leftover tail, you're gonna tie a knot in here to secure the last stitch and your work. If you don't do this knot, the first time they wash the piece, it will fall apart. Okay. So this way, with that casting on, we're gonna start knitting the first row. Now we're going to start our first row on net, and what you're going to do, you're going to grab your needle, and exactly the same as I show you the other cast on, the first stitch is how you learn how to knit. You're going to pass through this first stitch, and you're going to cross them in the back like this, and then you're going to grab the yarn attached to the ball, and you're going to wrap from under up, and you're going to pull that stitch out. I like to bring them closer to the tip, and with this finger I hold them in place, that way they don't fall off before I do my stitch. So again, you're gonna come from this front strand like this, again, you see, and then you wrap from under and top of that needle, you take it out, and you see, you cast off that stitch out of this needle, and you have two knit already. Again, wrap and take it out. And you take it out. You see? It's very easy. So this is English style knitting. Continental, you will have the strand like this and that finger like that. I find that for beginner, the English style is an easier way to learn how to knit. You're a little bit more in control of that strand of yarn. Okay, so you're gonna come here, cross like this, you pass through the top like this, wrap from under and top of that needle, you see, you take it out, that loop, you're creating a loop in this one, and you're going to remove the one from the other needle. And you have to be careful, always careful not to drop this one before you knit that one. So again, you wrap, and again, you see? Once you've done this, you're already knitting. So if you find that I talk too much, you can mute the video, or I guess you can watch somebody else that speak less. I like to explain with detail because for me to learn, I like to listen every single word and every single detail. That way I can learn much better. So again, you come here, wrap, and you take that one out. So I will show you one more time how to start the first row. I'm gonna remove these stitches here, cast them on again, and I'll show you one more time. I will show you one more time how you're gonna start your knit. So after you do that knot in here to secure your cast on, you're gonna grab your needle, you're gonna pass it like this under, and you're gonna wrap this one in here, and you take it off, and like that you remove that one, and again like this, wrap, and you remove, wrap. You see, you come from under, wrap in the top, you pull this one out, and you take that strand that you wrap on top with you and that stitch out of the needle, and you are knitting. So for knitting, what you need is practice, practice, practice. I even will show you in some other classes how to undo a few stitches if you make a mistake. So you need to practice that as well, just in case. That is more for more advanced, you know, when you're doing a design that you make a mistake, or you do a net in a purl row or a purl in the net row and you have to remove that stitch. I will show you how to do that, but when you learn how to knit and purl first. So you're going to continue. You see how easy? It's very easy. When you get the hang of it, you will love knitting. So we're almost done our first row of knit. I hope I go slow enough for you to learn. And then the last one, wrap, and like that, and you're done your first row of knit. So now I'm going to show you how to do the back of a net stitch that will be a purl stitch. Now I'm going to teach you how to purl. So this is a purl stitch and this is a net stitch. So the back of a net stitch is a purl, and the back of a purl stitch is a net. Okay, so for to net, you cross the needle in here like this. For purl, it's different. You come in here. You see, the needle is on the top. So you're gonna come here. Let me bring the yarn a little closer to the top. And you put it here. Now you're gonna wrap your yarn in between those two needles, like this. And you're gonna take the stitch out to the back. Show you one more time. You come here, you wrap in between those two needles, and you take it out to the back and cast that one off. So again, one more time. You come here like this, you wrap and you take that one out, and you do your first purl. Again, you come in here, you wrap, you see, in between and here. It's really difficult when you cross your hand on the top to see, like this. You see, it's in here, and then you take it out of the needle. You come here, you wrap around, and you take it out to the back, and then remove this one from your needle. Again, in here, you wrap, you take it out, and you move that one out of the needle. So if you did the first row net and you done these 4 stitches, you already know how to knit. So it's that easy. Again, you come here, you wrap around like this in between the two needles. You see you're wrapping in between the two needles, and that strand in here is the one that you will take out with the other needle, and you pull that one out. And here again, you wrap in between those two, you see, take that one out, and like that. So like that is how you purl. And like I mentioned, the back of a net is a purl, and the back of the purl is a net stitch. So in here I look like I done 2 rows of net, but really I did 1 row net and 1 purl, and look like 2 rows done already. And there will be 2 row net already in the right side and 2 row purl in the wrong side. So I will show you one more time how to start from the beginning. I will show you one more time how to start this first row of purl. So you're gonna grab your needle and you're gonna pass it through here, through that loop on your needle, and you're gonna hold it like this, and you're gonna wrap and take that one out. Again, you see, wrap and take it out. And when you do this, that you wrap your needle, you see you have it there in between. When you take it out, already you are taking the strand out, and you bring that one out, and you done your third net. And like that you're going to continue all the way to the end. If you're learning with long needles, for example, I have this one here. Usually when I work off camera, I place these under my, almost under my armpit, just in the border there, to secure the needle. That way it's not in the air like this. Like when I'm recording on camera, it's really difficult for me to put it under my armpit and to have this one in the right hand secure, because it's too far away and these are short needles for recording. So when I work with a long needle on off camera, I do that. So it's nice and secure to work with. So you see it's not loose like this one in here that I don't have in place. So you come here, place it here. That's why I had to hold it with this to have it secure. And here, and take it out. Again, you're gonna wrap, and you take it out. Again, you're gonna wrap, and you're gonna take it out. And like that, you're gonna continue purling all the way to the end. So we're almost done our first row of purl. And we are done. If you've done this so far, you know how to knit, because the rest is very easy. So you see how nice that border in here? That's why I like the casting on better than other ones, because it gives you a nice edge of the piece. So now I will show you how to do again a knit row. Now we're gonna do our second row of knit, and it will be in the right side of the piece. And it's the right side of the piece because, well, other than the old net, you had the tail in the front with the tip of the needle, you see, on the same side. So that's good to know, because sometimes you are doing a piece with different type of stitch, and to know which one is the right side and the wrong side is by guiding yourself with the tail. So I like to place here the strand in between those two fingers to do the first stitch, just to secure this one that is not too loose, like this. And then I grab it here, and then I wrap in between, I take it out and pull the one out. Again, between those two, like this, I take it out of the needle. Don't fight your yarn. They're not your enemy. They are your friend. Think of them like you're doing a stroke of painting, you know, nice and light, very like it's part of your hand, like very nice and loose. Don't yank it, you know, like pulling tight. No. It's nice and loose. That's why I knit very loose, because I don't pull my yarn tight like this, you see. You see how easy that is? So like this, you wrap from the bottom of the needle in between those two, and you take it out. Again, you wrap in between those two, and take it out through the top. You see the net you take out through the top, and the purl through the bottom. You see? Get out through the top. You see, in the front, and out of the needle. So this one is my second row on net, but if you count the stitches here, you'll have more, because remember you did a row of purl, and the other side of the purl is a net. So to count my stitches we have here, let me finish this row and I'll explain that, because it's good for you to know when you're doing a project how many rows you have done. Just a sec, let me finish this next row. So you see, I'm almost done. So you're gonna practice, and you will see in no time you will be making hats and scarves for just in time for Christmas. You'll have a pile of them done. So you come to this one and to the last one, and you are done. So to count, if you don't keep in track and how many rows you done in your in a piece of paper or with a round counter or anything, so it's easy to count in here. This first one in here is, I don't count that one because that was the cast on, the first one. And then we did a row knit, we did a row purl, and this one here is a row knit, so that's the third row that we have done. Now we go for the fourth row, that's the purl row. Now we're gonna do another row purl. So you're gonna pass your needle like that. You're gonna wrap in between those two needles, and you're gonna take to the back that stitch and pull that one out of the needle again, and here wrap in between the two needles to the back, you see, and take it out, wrap in between, and you're gonna cast it out of the needle like this. So you're gonna continue working like this, you purl stitch. So if you've done this so far, you know how to knit. I'm gonna work a few rows. That way I will show you how to cast off or bind off. And if you don't got it so far, what you do is you go back to the beginning at the first row or the casting on, and you practice and practice and practice. So you have this video to practice how many times you want to practice. So I'm gonna continue with a few more rows of net and purl. That way it's easier for me to show you the casting off. So I finished those extra few rows, and if you learn to do this so far, you learn 3 stitches today. You learn how to knit, how to purl, and how to do the stockinette stitch, because the net on the right side and purl on the wrong side is the stockinette. So now I will show you how to cast off your stitches, and if you're working with net stitch, you'll cast off with net stitch. If you're working with purl, you'll cast off with purl. Except if the pattern that you're following is set cast off with purl in the right side or net in the wrong side. It depends. So I'll show you first how to cast off stitches in a net stitch. So you're going to knit the first one, and you're going to knit the second one nice and loose. You see, very loose. And you're going to pass the first one on top of the second one and out of the needle like this, and you cast off or bind off your first stitch. Again, you come here, you knit the next one, and then you pass this one in the back on top of that one that you just knit like this. And you have to be careful that this one don't fall out of your needle. Again, you wrap and a knit stitch. And you grab that one and pass it on top of this one. If you find that you cast off too tight, I recommend to use a half a number bigger, a needle half number bigger for casting off. Again, you get the next one, and if you want to practice this, just go back to the beginning of the video and practice and practice and practice. So I will remove this cast off because I want to do a row of net in order to show you how you're going to cast off in a purl stitch. And like that you're going to continue casting off, you see, nice and loose, and you have the same elasticity that you have in here, you have the here and the top, nice and even. I did that row of net. Now I'm going to show you how to cast off and the purl side with the purl stitch. Sometimes you'll have a pattern that say cast off in the right side with the purl stitch, and it's exactly the same principle as I'm showing you here in the wrong side. It's the same as casting off almost as with the net, but in the purl stitch. So you're going to purl the first one, purl the second one, and you're going to pass the first one on top of the second one that you purl. You see, it's exactly the same, but in the purl stitch. Purl the next one and pass the first one on top of this one. Purl that one, and again pass it on the top and off the needle. So if you learn to do this, you can do a few of my videos for beginners that I already have hats and stuff, so it's very easy. So I will continue all the way to the end, casting off this piece and a purl stitch. When you finish the cast off, you will end up with one stitch on your needle, so be careful, don't lose that stitch because everything will fall apart. So what you do is you cut your tail long enough for losing the tail, or sewing if you have to sew with that tail, and you make the loop a little bit bigger just to pass that strand through, and then you're gonna pull it and secure that stitch, and like that you've done your first net project. So it's nice and stretchy, you see. And this one, you see these stitches that are a little bit different because this is the one that I was recording in Spanish and English, so I had to undo some stitches. But in this one that I just net and purl with no undoing stitches is perfect, you see, nice and even all the stitches. Well, here we finish our first lesson on how to knit for the beginners. What you guys think? Let me know if you learned a little bit or something, or if the video helped you recap what you learned a long time ago. I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up and give it a try, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make anything what you learned today and you want to share with me, you can do it through my Facebook page Ruby Crochet Tejido or my Instagram Ruby Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family and in groups, that way they'll learn, and at the same time you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye. And if you continue with my lesson, very soon you'll be knitting this beautiful stitch that I'm doing for a sweater.